Language drills are a way of memorising a chunk of language by repeating it. They can be a very effective approach for learning new vocabulary or language structures, and are a way of ensuring new language is introduced in a curriculum context. Language drills can be used with any age group in any subject. Language drills are particularly useful for learners who are new to English, as they can help with learning basic structures. However, they can also be used at any proficiency level to support learners in internalising useful academic language and building the linguistic repertoire they need for exam success. Here are some example activities you can use as language drills: chain drill, ball drill, hunt the object, I went to market, and songs and chants. We'll look at these now in more detail. 1. Chain drill. Picture flashcards can be used for a simple question and answer chain drill. First, show the card to learner A and ask, for example, "What is it?" When learner A replies, "It's a cork," give them the card. Learner A then asks learner B the same question and passes on the card to them when they answer correctly. More cards can be introduced so that several are circulating at the same time. The same cards can be used to drill a more complex question and answer, either in terms of language or curriculum content. For example, do you think is magnetic? No, I don't think it's magnetic because it's made of. Or, yes, I think it's magnetic because it's made of. 2. Ball drill. A ball drill is a variation of a chain drill where the learners stand in a circle. For example, the teacher points to a picture of a triangle and says, "How many sides does a triangle have?" Then they throw the ball to learner A, who replies, "A triangle has 3 sides." The teacher changes the picture and learner A throws the ball to learner B, and the teacher asks again, "How many sides does a pentagon have?" and so on. 3. Hunt the object. This drill is like a game of hotter and colder. It can be played with any language structure in any curriculum context. First, the teacher introduces the target structure. For example, William Shakespeare was a world-famous playwright and poet. One person is the searcher and is sent out of the room while the teacher and class hide an object, for example a picture of Shakespeare somewhere. When the searcher comes back in, they have to look for the object. The rest of the class chant the target sentence, quieter as they move away from the object and getting louder as they move closer to the object. The teacher can orchestrate the volume with their hands. When the searcher finds a picture, the drill can be repeated using a different object and phrase. For example, the second object could be a copy of Macbeth, and the target sentence could be, "Macbeth is one of Shakespeare's most popular plays." 4. I went to market. To play I went to market, give each learner a flashcard and start the drill by modelling the target language. For example, if you're working on the topic of food and a balanced diet, start with, "I went to market and bought an aubergine." Learner A, who's been given a picture of some rice, then has to say, "I went to market and I bought an aubergine and some rice," and so on, until the list they have to remember gets longer and longer. This can be done with different structures and in different subjects. For example, to drill the language needed to describe a science practical, learner A could say, "First we collected our equipment." Learner B could then say, "First we collected our equipment, then we put on our safety goggles." And learner C could say, "First we collected our equipment, then we put on our safety goggles, and then we lit the Bunsen burner." 5. Songs and chants. Songs and chants can be a fun and engaging way for learners to practice their pronunciation and consolidate vocabulary and language structures. Songs and chants are particularly suitable for primary learners and are inclusive as all children are able to participate at their own level. You might want to use chants that include the home languages from learners in the class. So for example, we can see here that the teacher is singing the tune from "If You're Happy and You Know It," but has replaced the words to make them suitable for the learners in her class. So, how can you use language drills? They can be done as a warmer or plenary activity, or to raise the level of energy in the room partway through a lesson. For younger learners, one way of doing language drills is to sing nursery rhymes using the target language instead of the original words. For example, here we can see the teacher has adapted the song "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" to teach the subject of birds at Key Stage 1. For older learners, chants and raps work better. Why use language drills? Through drilling, learners internalise the target language and are more likely to be able to produce it independently in the future, both in speech and in writing. Top tips for using language drills. The most important element is the repetition of the target language, so it's important not to introduce too much unfamiliar vocabulary at the same time. For this reason, it's best not to drill more than 1 or 2 language structures in any one lesson. Another top tip for using language drills is to choose a phrase or structure that sounds natural in English and preferably will be useful in a range of curriculum subjects. For example, to practice using language for comparing and contrasting, you could drill hydrogen and oxygen are both gases, or water is a liquid but ice is a solid. To use language drills for independent learning, you might want to ask younger children to practice drills, songs or chants at home with their parents. For older learners, you might want to ask them to practice saying the drills or raps at home, and then to record themselves and listen back. To help with this, you could give the learner a recording of you modelling the drill, so they have a model to refer to when practicing at home. You might also want to set a challenge for learners to create their own rhyme and rehearse it at home and share it with others in the class. Thank you for watching. Please click subscribe to be notified of future videos.